So, just before the session begins, may I request CMA Desai to felicitate Shri Jain at the start of the session, please.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Good morning.
very good morning.
Good morning. For GST, we need this kind of attention. Believe me, I'm traveling throughout the country. I've been to Mumbai also, Delhi also, Bangalore also, Chennai also. Last week we were at Chandigarh also. Why we need GST first of all? There are two broad regions. The first broad region, I could see a number of young faces, cost CMA, they are looking for opportunity. And I could see faces from the trade and industry. They want GST to come in. But if you ask this question, why we need GST, believe me, as on date, with clarity you will not get the answer. Why I'm going to tell you. Today if you look at country as a whole, Honorable Finance Minister is saying if GST comes in, our GDP growth of the country will have incremental 2% growth. Am I right?
Yes.
Start thinking if the same situation prevails, GST is going to replace the taxes only. How GDP will grow by 2%?
Same question I wanted to ask.
You wanted to ask me?
No, I wanted to ask the same question.
To
You have already answered.
learned Additional Secretary. But believe me, I'm going to discuss all this point. First point. And second point, being CMA members, what are the opportunities for all of us? Why we should start thinking GST as a career perspective and opportunity, be it industry, be it practice. Why? So let's start with some why and then we will move on why we need GST. Am I right, sir? So first why, if let's assume you all are Honorable Finance Minister of the country now. Let's assume for the time's sake. You require revenue for running the country. And our revenue basically comes from taxes side, two taxes, direct taxes and indirect taxes. And be interactive, enjoy the session. It is not like technical one-sided. Enjoy the session to the fullest and ask as many questions as you got. If time permits, I will definitely respond back. The first, how much is the direct tax collection for the country? And while I am discussing, believe me, I will give the opportunity. I will prove today, if you are not starting with GST today, you are failing with opportunity will go away from your hand. And you have to start from today, now. I will prove that. Let's start. How much is the direct tax collection for the country? Direct tax collection. Any idea? Any rough idea? 350 lakh. Any other idea? See, I'm being told that CMA are very much good master on costing and pricing. You should have numbers, otherwise you cannot justify. When I passed out my chartered accountancy or CS or LLB, my papa used to ask me how much salary you will get. Why salary? Money. Money is the criteria to pass the qualification. So GST, if I want you to invite for GST, I have to give you the money. Right? Without money, you will not see the opportunity. It is 7,45,000 crore rupees. Direct tax collection. And how much, by the way, indirect tax collection. And when I talk about indirect tax collection, you got two kind of levy. One is coming from central, another one is coming from state. Under central, we got broadly three items: custom duty, excise duty, and sales tax. Perfect. Under state, we got value added tax, CST, though central levy, but administered and collected by state government. We got octroi, we got empty tax, and new name only in Maharashtra, local body tax, which is nowhere in India, only in Maharashtra. Then we got luxury tax, entertainment tax, stamp duty, registration fees. So having these too many indirect taxes, that too under central levy and state levy, I am a poor consumer. Assume you all are central government and you all are state government. I am poor consumer, sandwich. Whether the sandwich situation will go away, I will discuss this component as well. But let's start. How much is the indirect tax collection? As against 7,45,000 crore rupees. Any guesswork? 9 lakh crore?
10 times. 10 times.
Huh?
10 times.
So everyone started now shooting and saying, "Bolo jo muh mein aata hai."
No, sir, I don't agree with that.
Sachin Tendulkar cannot play 4 and 6 by this. He has to be master in his stroke, right? Believe me, under central levy, custom duty is 1,80,000 crore rupees. Excise duty is 2 lakh crore rupees. And service tax, 2,20,000 crore rupees. Can you think of? Even the government of India never think of service tax will surpass custom and excise. But today, service tax is topping up custom and excise. So almost 6 lakh crore rupees they are getting from central levy and around 8 lakh crore rupees all India state level they are collecting indirect taxes. So 14 lakh crore rupees. This 14 lakh crore rupees is going to be in the new name by GST. So first take to all of you, why we will not start with GST? First take. Second, I was talking to some of the CMA members and they used to tell me, sir, I have not done excise. So I can't start excise taxes. I don't know much about service tax. So I don't know where from to start. And when I talk about VAT, they say, sir, India is like 30 states means 30 countries across India. Different provision. Maharashtra does not have similar provision like Gujarat. Gujarat does not have like Rajasthan. And I will be, sir, that I can't start. So I say this is right opportunity because what happened? GST is going to subsume all the indirect taxes are going to be subsumed in only one name, GST. So this is a high time you start learning GST. So I am giving you some platter why we should look GST as an opportunity. Coming back to our GDP of the country. We got 3 pillars: agriculture, IIP which includes manufacturing, and one is service sector. Any idea at what rate GDP of the country is growing?
It's around
7%. Oh, right answer. So 7% April to June quarter we got 7%, though it is less, but 7%. And how much of our total GDP? You know, agriculture, IIP and service sector belongs to our GDP. Any rough work? Of total GDP, how much from service sector? It is 58%. Service sector is 58%, and which tax, by the way, by default applicable for service sector? Service tax. And I'm sure you all are doing service tax. May not be excise, may not be custom, but service tax by default we all are doing. So service tax is going to be subsumed in GST. And believe me, service sector is growing by 8% comparing 7% overall GDP growth of the country. And when you want to see opportunity, lot of opportunity. Maharashtra is known for opportunity. When I come from Delhi, I always compare myself with Delhi, Gurgaon practice versus Mumbai practice. Believe me, Mumbai practice is much better. But still I could see the faces, they are looking for opportunity. They want opportunity. Believe me, opportunities are there. You have to only target the opportunity. So that is what the background I given. Why we look GST as an opportunity. And now we have to understand today's workshop. Awareness. Today's awareness on GST on different parameters. They have even been the topic. Bimal, you start with a need and necessity. Why we need GST? And then they will follow what is the GST, platform, model, rate, other stuff, and then how it can be implemented. So before I start GST, let me ask you guys. are we not satisfied? Are we not happy? Or do you see GST as the solution for the country? Yes, anyone? Anyone? Simplification, ease of business.
Doing business.
Ease of doing business. So we are picking up Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister's word. Make in India, ease of business, skill India, digital India. Believe me, sir, when I am going to tell you the provision, you will say whether we will get or we will not get. Today, let me start with one example. I know you all go to AC restaurant, right? Haldiram, Bikaner Wala, Pizza Hut, McDonald's. You buy burger, 30 rupees burger. Have you seen the invoice? 30 rupees burger contains full VAT on 30 rupees, and then on top of it, 40% of 30 rupees is chargeable to service tax. I'm a poor fellow, sir. I do not understand. I'm a consumer. Let's be all a master here, but try to understand 30 rupees burger on which VAT is already being charged. Why service tax is being levied? A transaction can either be goods or it cannot be both. It cannot be both. So anyone who can give me the answer, why double taxes?
Because you're being served.
Oh, Sam is saying, sir, why service tax is being charged? When you go to a restaurant, you get amenities, you get furniture, you get AC, you get ambience. But sir, when you take away a home delivery,
That is not been now accepted.
now he's saying that now he's exempt.
Now it's exempt.
Believe me, he may be doing the practice, but mass population here. Is it exempt? Please tell me, is it exempt?
No, sir.
On takeaway it is accepted.
I will take Gabriel along.
Sir, rule 2C of
I will tell you, sir, don't go into technical provision. I will tell you, I know rule 2C of service tax determination, valuation rule, 40% taxable. I know all these things. Don't go to blah, 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 blah. Come to the topic. In takeaway and home delivery, where is the service? And why service tax applicable? Believe me, this levy started from 1st April 2013. Now it is exempted. He is saying exempted. Believe me, it is not exempted. Only Chandigarh Commissionerate has issued a circular saying that on takeaway and home delivery service tax not applicable. And this circular Chandigarh Commissionerate, not by Central Board of Excise and Custom, Delhi, across all India. So they wanted to enjoy. Why after 2 years Chandigarh Commissioner has taken up this steps and given this circular? Why not 2 years before? And they want to continue with this kind of dilemma, double taxation and cascading.
No, that's because again, court, it is not because of the Chandigarh administration. It is because of the High Court of Punjab and Haryana which has opined that this is not on a restriction.
Sir, now he's invoking me. He's instigating me, giving the bouncer and bouncer.
Not wrong, sir.
And I will give him the chakka and four. Just pause. See what happened, this case has gone to Kerala High Court single member bench. And issue was with a service tax applicable on AC restaurant services. What single member bench Kerala High Court has said, service tax not applicable. This case has again come to Bombay High Court, your Mumbai. Division bench, 2-member bench. And the same question was whether service tax applicable on AC restaurant services. Believe me, what answer we got here?
Yes.
Service tax? Applicable. They say we are not relying on single member bench of Kerala High Court and say service tax applicable. Coming back to Chhattisgarh High Court. Now Chhattisgarh High Court saying when service tax levied on 40%, VAT applicable on 60%. This is Chhattisgarh High Court. It is not the end of the story. Uttaranchal High Court. When I go to Uttaranchal High Court says when service tax levied on 40%, VAT applicable on 60%. And sir is insisting, telling me, because of Punjab and Haryana High Court, believe me, when different judgment coming out, we have to go to Supreme Court and wait for your burger. By the time you will have burger, GST will be in the interface. Sir, I wanted to start with some background, preamble. You want to have, yes sir.
Why all these cases are not settled and all the cases scattered on the same point should be taken up by the Supreme Court of
Perfect, sir. Now, sir is saying why these cases are not centralized to the Supreme Court, and I will tell you how things move into indirect taxes. So let's start with indirect tax and understand GST need and necessity. Under central levy, I have said what all taxes applicable: custom duty, excise duty, service tax. You got education cess and secondary higher education cess, but different story altogether. I will touch upon. Let's start with the custom duty first. Custom duty is applicable on import or export of specified goods in India. And what are the custom duty? Basic custom duty, CVD, which is equivalent of excise duty applicable for light goods manufactured in India. Then we got custom cess. CVD cess is not there, but custom cess. See, this education cess and secondary higher education cess got diluted for excise duty and sales tax purpose, but still continuing under customs. Am I clear? Then we got special additional duty. Now believe me, I am going to ask some question and be interactive, enjoy. We got two kind of person. One is the manufacturer and one is the service provider. If you are a manufacturer importing goods or capital goods, you are paying all the duty, PCD, CVD, customs cess and SAT. Please tell me what credit will be available to you, standard credit. Anyone? CVD only? What about SAT? Credit available? Oh, perfect. So those who are aware of, perfect. Those who are not aware of, for them, PCD credit not available. CVD credit available. Customs cess not available. And SAT in lieu of sales tax credit is available. Perfect. So what is the cascading? PCD and customs cess become cost. Becomes cost. What about service provider? Let's say Airtel, Vodafone, Reliance. They are also importing inputs and capital goods, paying all these custom duty. Can they avail credit of CVD and SAT both together? Only CVD, no SAT. Means for them, cascading would be to the extent of BCD, custom cess and SAT. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Under custom duty, there are two broad problems. One is inverted duty structure and one is accumulation of standard credit. What is this inverted duty structure? In layman language, duty incidence on input is higher than duty incidence on output. Am I clear? But government is trying to give some kind of relief, and this Union Budget 2015, on 22 items they have reduced the BCD to give some relief on basic custom duty so that they can done away with the inverted duty structure. Anyone can say about accumulation, or are your company struggling with accumulation of standard credit, and how it will happen? Anyone, please.
Because of inverted duty structure.
Because of inverted duty structure. So is there any solution? Can you get refund of standard credit? You can't? Sir, anyone? I am going to give you legal opinion today, FOC, free of cost. Oh, effective from 1st April 2012, you can transfer the SAD credit of A unit to B unit. And B unit can use the standard credit for payment of their liability. For trader of imported goods, they have mechanism of getting refund of SAD, but manufacturer does not have. So we all are trying before Government of India. When you give refund to the trader, why can't you give refund to the manufacturer? And when you talk about make in India, you should allow some relief to me in terms of refund to the accumulated standard credit. But sir, nothing is being listened. So this is a custom duty portion. Coming back to excise duty. Under excise, what is taxable event, sir? Oh, perfect. Manufacturing. But this term is subtle. Manufacture term is subtle. Sir, are you getting my message? Believe me, what happened, across India. Sir, this manufacturing excise at 1944, and I'm standing on 2015. Believe me, today, Honorable Supreme Court has to come out with a judgment whether the activity undertaken is a manufacturer or not. It is not yet settled, sir. Not yet settled. And what is the term manufacturing under section 2, subsection F of Central Excise Act? Any process which is incidental or ancillary to the completion of manufactured products. Second, any process which is defined in section note or chapter note to first schedule to set up. And third is called deemed manufacture. It is not manufactured. It is deemed manufactured. And what is this? Any goods which is falling in schedule 3 to set up, pertaining to then any kind of process type, packing, repacking, labeling, relabeling, alteration of retail sale price is called deemed manufacture. And you have to take registration of manufacture. But what is the practical problem, you know? Let's say you assume a particular activity is manufacture activity. You will start taking credit, charging excise duty to your customer. Department will come back only after 4-5 years because they have habit of waking up only after 4-5 years. Like they got period of Kumbhakarna. They don't wake up on time. Anyone from department don't take the negative. Anyone from department don't take the negative. That is what the litigation. Then what happened? Department will say, they will say, no, the activity undertaken by you is not manufactured. Hence, credit is not available. And then whatever excise you have charged to your customer, it is payable under section 11D of Central Excise Act. This poor fellow who was doing all this business, so this credit is not available. And this you have to pay because you have already charged. Believe me, that is kind of litigation only on term manufacturing. Only on term manufacturing. Since 1944 to 2015. Now coming back to next point, valuation. Under excise we got different valuation method. Transaction value, MRP and production capacity. Sir, you asked one question to me, it is very relevant for all of you. Transaction value, what is the transaction value we understand? Transaction value means sole price consideration at the time and place of removal. So the Honorable Supreme Court judgment came in 2012 for transaction value which was changed from 1st July 2000 and you will all be finding interesting. Let me throw the question first. Fiat India Limited. They have sold their car for a price of 1.89 lakh. Make it 1.9 lakh. 1,90,000. But their actual cost of production was 3.84 lakh. And dispute went to Supreme Court on the premise that the excise duty payable on 1.9 lakh, which is transaction value, or 3.84 lakh, which is cost of production. This is pertaining to the valuation which is changing from 1st July 2000 and judgment coming in December 2012. So I am asking on what value excise duty applicable. Yes, please. 3 lakh 84,000. Cost of production. Why sir? You transaction value means what? At the price you are selling the goods.
In normal course.
But you have
In
taken
normal
secondary
course of
value because you are trying to sell under to promote your product.
Sir, we all are becoming now master because Honorable Supreme Court judgment has come. Look at Fiat India.
So, but look here, sir, I will tell you only one thing. Why is he selling it at 190 when the cost is
I'm telling you. Sir, they were selling at 190 to get the market share. Because they were penetrating the market. Maruti was there. See, today Deloitte is there. EMI is there. If you go for opinion, they will say 2 lakh rupees. But if you come to Bimaljan, Bimaljan has to get the market. He will say, sir, I will go at 30,000 rupees to penetrate the market. Maybe my cost of production would be 50,000 for making the opinion. Maybe for making that opinion, cost of production is 50,000. Yes, sir.
You will charge 30,000 for giving that time.
Yeah.
But you will not pay 30,000 for giving that time, isn't it?
I will.
You will pay 30,000 for giving that time.
Sir, I will be charging only 30,000 rupees.
I am asking another question. selling only 30,000. But if they are selling, can you give advice by paying 30 because you want to create market? So are you ready to pay 30,000 to the client and then give advice instead of charging it?
Why not?
Why not?
You come to me.
You have to pay solicitor.
You come to me.
You have to pay solicitor.
We are from Bombay Stock Exchange, we come to you. Okay, fine.
Sir, I started only saying that don't take into other part of it. Only try to understand. For penetrating the market, Fiat India started selling the car at loss. Only to get market share. We do sometimes as a normal business. We do sometimes.
Sir, I understand, but if it is a short period of time, fine. But if you are going on extending for years,
Tell me how we can carry on. Is it called simplicity? It is called certainty. Believe me, I am going to tell you what is there in GST. And then I will ask you whether really we are going on a right path. I will tell you, touch upon it. Just pause yourself. Just look at how we are moving forward from excise perspective. After valuation, we got rate, different rate. 2% without stamp, 6%, 12.5%. This excise duty rate of 12.36 now 12.5. You know, manufacturer are struggling and asking one question: what will happen to my education cess, which was standing on 20th February 2015? They have given one relief that any input services and capital goods procured on or after 1st March. But what about the balance which is standing on 20th February? No relief. So nothing is clarified. It is going to be cost. Believe me, that is what. There is no other provision in standard trade rules. But then this is how the provisions are moving. Then we got rate of 24, 27, 30. Start thinking you are Maruti. Your car is chargeable at the rate of 27%, only excise duty. VAT on top of it on an average 12.5. What would be your GST rate? Just start thinking whether they are going to be benefited with GST or they are going to be loser. Similarly, the way your product is chargeable only 6% excise duty and VAT rate of 5%. What happened in GST? If they come out with a rate of 20%, it is not going to inflate the price for the consumer. So those are very, very prominent question and relevant, pertinent question. So keeping excise apart, come to the service tax. But under excise, 2-3 things are more important. You got an exemption, excise exemption of 1.5 crore, and Secretary Saab has said in the morning, 25 lakh rupees they are only discussing for threshold exemption under GST. So what happened? Those who are enjoying excise exemption of 1.5 crore, they will come into GST net. They will come into GST net. You got excise exemption, absolute. Your product is exempted, all conditional exemption. Leave aside, you got excise free zone, Uttaranchal and Himachal. Jammu and Kashmir by way of refund. What will happen to those units if GST comes in? Anyone who is belonging to Jammu and Kashmir, Uttaranchal, Himachal, but Uttaranchal and Himachal, excise is exempted. And why exempted? You have made the investment into that particular state. So excise is not chargeable. What will happen in GST? Start thinking. Start thinking. These are the platter for the day. Move to service tax now. Yes, Jammu Kashmir cash refund. Cash refund.
Even in Uttarakhand, the GST is
No, oh, that will come. Okay.
will collect maybe.
You are answering to me, not an issue. Then we got service tax provision, sir. Service tax started from 1st July 1994. Only on 3 services at the rate of 5%. And first year collection was how much? Any idea, sir? First year collection. How much was the collection from Government of India? 360 crore rupees only, and which has become now 2.2 lakh crore rupees. Service tax is a happening issue. Now when service tax is a happening issue, we need to understand taxable even for the chargeability of service tax. Let me throw this question to all of you. Please tell me, like excise applicable on manufacturing, sales tax applicable on sale of goods, tell me service tax applicable on what?
On service.
On?
Service.
Why you pay service tax on advance?
Sir, any activity done by one person for another person for consideration.
Oh, now he's saying any activity done by a person for another for
That is a
consideration.
definition.
Oh,
Non.
poor consumer sir. Don't. I want to have simplicity. Excise applicable on manufacturing. Sales tax applicable on transfer of property in goods. Why can't you have simple definitions? Service tax applicable on rendering of. But believe me, we are not. What is the problem? For service provider, service tax is payable in terms of Rule 3 of the POT rules. And what is Rule 3 of POT rules? Earliest of the three. Date of receipt of money, including advance money, even though you have not rendered service. He is giving me 30,000 today for opinion given in the month of October, service tax applicable. Second milestone, date of invoice. Provided invoice is raised within 30 days from the completion of service. If invoice is not raised within 30 days, then date of completion of earliest of the three. So again this challenge is there. What is the taxable even for the chargeability of service tax? Before I go further, now rate is very important. Service tax rate changed from 12.36 to
14.
Across India, one problem is coming, and I am asking to all of you also. Let's say you rendered the service on 15th May 2015. 15th May when rate was 12.36. But you are raising invoice only on 2nd June. When rate is? And you are being paid on 4th June. Please tell me what rate would be applicable. How much rate applicable? Please tell me what is the rate, 12.36 or 14?
14%.
Believe me, you all are saying 14%. I am of the view 12.36. And what?
Except RCM,
Even including RCA. I will tell you. Sir, why tax expert and consultant are benefited? Because of interpretation. Because we do not want to clarify. See, Rule 4 of POT rule says, out of 3, if 2 even prior to 1st June, old rate. If 2 even after 1st June, new rate, right? But tell me there is section 67A of Finance Act. Now I will touch only one point. POT rule came from 1st April 2011. When initially it came for two purposes. To determine the rate of service tax and to determine due date of payment of service tax. On 20th May 2012, section 67A got inserted into Finance Act. And section 67A was meant for three purposes: to determine rate of service tax, to determine rate of exchange, to determine value of taxable services. And section 67A says rate which is applicable on the date when taxable service has been provided or agreed to be provided. So if I provide service on 15th May, what rate would be applicable, sir? Of course 12.36. Why 14%? Whether POT rule can override the provision of Finance Act? You all are giving me opportunity to litigate the matter and then say on interpretation we are benefited. But look at poor consumer service provider. He is providing service. He will always in dilemma what rate should be applicable, and he will go with the WhatsApp and Facebook messages. 2 out of 3. This is rate. Come to service tax down below. We were having regime of taxable services up to 1st July 2012. From 1st July 2012 we got negative list. And what is negative list? My hands are like this. All the services are taxable other than negative list or negative exemption list, right? And service tax is applicable on services. Am I right? Do you all know service tax was applicable from 1st July 1994, but there was no definition of service until 1st July 2012. Was you aware of? You are aware of. And this is very first time provided. And what is the definition of service? Any activity carried out by a person for another for include declare service but shall not include. Am I right?
Yes.
What will happen in GST? What would be the service definition? Please sir, what would be the service definition? Anyone?
Any value addition.
So now GST, I am just touching one point.
So any value addition done by one
No
person.
problem. For the benefit form. So now I say the GST law. I won't invite your attention. 122 Constitution Amendment Bill is before Rajya Sabha. This Constitution Amendment Bill, Article 366 12A says GST means any taxes on supply of goods or services. I'm just pausing myself. Goods or services. So first they are talking about GST means any taxes on supply of goods or
Service.
so they are talking supply. So the concept of manufacturing, concept of sale, concept of rendering of service will go away. Will not be applicable, it is on supply. And believe me, the term supply is not defined in 122 Constitution Amendment Bill. And then we talk about interpretation. Are you getting my message? It is applicable on supply, but the term supply is subsequent, goods or services, right? So what is goods and what is services? Let's understand what is goods. What 122 Constitution Amendment will say. Goods is defined like this. See, I've seen my college days, my professional days. Whenever we used to read any definition, we used to read definition like this is like this, and particular definition means so and so and includes so and so. Am I right? Am I right? But the goods which is being defined in 122 Constitution Amendment Bill, they say goods includes. So they are not saying what is goods. They are saying goods includes all material, commodities and articles. Who is going to define what is goods? Subject to interpretation. And then comes what is the definition of service? Believe me, so smart definition. You will all start laughing. Service means anything other than goods is? Sir, now after reading this, now again I will take you back to the definition. Now it says GST means any taxes on supply of goods or services or both. I do not understand what is left out for both. Believe me, this is 122 Constitution Amendment Bill which is before Rajya Sabha, and we have to start our awareness what kind of provision we want to have in GST. Unless we come back with our feedback and suggestion. Under service tax, you got reverse charge, right? That is not the end of the story. You got partial reverse charge. And that is not the end of the story. You got aggregator model. He is neither a provider nor a receiver. What will happen in GST? Whether this reverse charge will continue to have in GST or whether this partial reverse charge, initially there are 4 services: renting of motor vehicle to carry passengers, supply of renta, security services and works contract services. 2 is being taken out from 1st April 2015. Only 2 left out. Whether this partial reverse charge will continue to have in GST? Start thinking in GST scenario. And under GST, whether you will have both service provider and service receiver. Then you got valuation. You got abatement, like you got transport of goods by railway, GTA, vessel. You got air flight, right? And then abatement given on account of material component. So whether this abatement will continue to in GST scenario, these are all $1 million questions. And we have to understand whether these provisions will come under service tax scenario or not. After going through service tax, now come to the component of value added tax. In value added tax, taxable event is sale of goods including beam cell, in terms of Article 366(29)(a), applicable since 1983. Under CST, it got implemented in 2002. So beam cell concept is there. But what is the problem under that? Today, we got different rate, different classification, and believe me, why different rate? You will be knowing initial regime of cell tax. They got empowered committee. Empowered committee decided that they will keep the uniform VAT rate, 1%, 4%, 12.5%, 20%. And when they decided in 1999-2000, Haryana being first state implementing VAT in 2003, and then 25 states, including Maharashtra, adopted VAT in 2005, right? But what is the problem today? No one is following the provision uniformly. Rates are divergent across state, classification are divergent across state, and divergent from perspective of registration, payment, assessment, appeal, ITC, refund. So if you are doing business in 20 states in India, believe me, it will look like you are doing business in the European Union. From that perspective. That is what the problem from the VAT perspective. Now having said VAT, coming to CSTC, Central Sales Tax. Now this is very important for all of us to understand. CST is an origin-based tax. CST is an origin-based tax. And what is GST, by the way? GST would be destination-based consumption tax. Let's take an example. Today you are in Maharashtra, you are manufacturing goods and selling into 20 states in India. Then you are charging excise duty and you are charging CST. Am I right? But tomorrow what will happen? When GST comes in, then you have to have a registration in 20 states, because GST being a destination-based consumption tax. So if it is B2B transaction, then you have to take registration in the respective state to discharge GST liability. Are you getting my message? So we are moving from origin-based to destination-based. At the same time, credit, CST credit, not available. So in present indirect tax system, after going through all this, do you conclude what are the problems we get in present indirect tax? Problem in indirect taxes? Cascading, one factor. What are others? Cascading then? Okay, what else? Different rate, different forms, different procedure. What else?
Fungibility is missing in the credit.
Okay, anything else?
Form collection, C form.
First, there are double taxation problem. What is double taxation problem from excise and service tax? Do you know any transaction where dispute persists that excise is also applicable and service tax is also applicable? Software. You got design and drawing. You got supply and installation. Am I clear? Do you know service tax and VAT problem, double taxation?
The works contract hiring.
Huh?
Where hiring?
So many, sir. Starting with the works contract, AC restaurant, IPR, IT software, right to use of movable goods. Though under right to use of movable goods, what is the important line item? If effective possession and control handed over to the lessee, then VAT applicable. If it is remain with the lessor, service tax applicable. In terms of Supreme Court judgment, still dispute persists. And now I will discuss one component, because he asked me Supreme Court, sir, AC is there, right, sir? And we want AC sometime in our house also. When you go and buy AC, what you understand, you want other fellow to supply AC along with installation. Am I correct? This is supply contract or works contract? First question. Whether this is supply contract or works contract? Oh, you all started sounding because you got judgment. Believe me, initially my intention was to buy AC. My intention was not to have installation done. It is incidental, by default, that you have to do installation to see working of AC. In the case of Koni elevator, 3-member bench, Honorable Supreme Court had initially said it is a supply contract. This case has gone to 5-member bench. And what 5-member bench said? They say no, it is not supply contract. It is works contract. Dominant intention test gone. Means dominant intention, what is your intention is not important. What is important, if contract consists of material and labor, it will be called works contract. And now look at the position, sir. If Koni elevator has taken some business call and they have paid VAT, only VAT, not service tax. But after 10, 15, 20 years, Supreme Court decided it's a works contract, what will happen to this company? And then, can we say it is certainty? Can we say it is properly defined each of business? Believe me, I have said GST definition to you. Goods or services or both. And I have said the definition of goods or services. Are we really moving for certainty, clarity, simplification? These are all open items. Are you getting my message? Now back to item of cascading. Excise charge by a manufacturer to a VAT dealer. VAT dealer can't avail credit and he will calculate VAT on excise duty. PCT and customs tax I have already discussed. Apart from that, you got CST. I know you all are telling me time is the watch. Give me 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes just to start. 5-10 minutes permitted?
100%.
Loudly permitted.
Yes,
Pink slip is working against me. See, sometimes employee is being asked to go, but he got so many friends in a company, and they start saying, no, he will not go.
Yes.
He will stand here.
Yes, yes.
So you are my voice, right? Nevertheless, I will take 5-10 minutes because we have to justify other speaker time. And next time he will take my time. So let's 5-10 minutes more maximum. So I was talking about CST. CST is a cascading. Sir, now we are moving towards GST with a great of hope. Great of hope. And we are planning to have good GST in place. Initially in the morning, I was not allowed to ask one problem. There is a 1% additional levy which is applicable in case of interstate supply of goods. CST is going to be washed away, we all know, but believe me, in GST, CST will be there. What is the transaction? 1% additional levy on interstate supply of goods. And that will go to manufacturing state like Maharashtra. Why it will go to Maharashtra? Because Maharashtra wanted their revenue protection. I am only asking one question to myself, sitting at national level. When 5 years is already being promised by central government to state government, in case you lose, we will compensate you. Why you want to continue with 1% additional levy? And this is not 1%. If there are 4 leg of supply chain, interstate, from Maharashtra to Gujarat, Gujarat to Karnataka, Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, then West Bengal, then 1% will continue, become 4%, cascading, big cascading. And I am not saying our economic advisor, country's economic advisor, Mr. Arvind Subramanian is saying it will create cascading and not competitive for the business. So ultimately, what is the objective of GST? To create ease of business, provide level playing field, no cascading, but still this provision is there. And believe me, Lok Sabha has passed. Rajya Sabha it is not being passed because of author of GST, so-called Congress side. But otherwise, Congress was pitching for GST when they were in power. BJP was not giving them a positive hand. Today, NDA want, Congress is denying. and we all are sandwiched. I'm only saying we are moving towards country's biggest indirect tax reform since independence. I was not born, and very first time I will see GST is the biggest indirect tax reform. I've been given one more task of international GST perspective. When I'm talking about international perspective, what is important for me? Malaysia has implemented GST very recently from April 1, 2015. And believe me, I'm recalling what kind of GST we want. We want GST like whatever taxes paid on input level, credit should be available. And this should be available to utilize with my output. But question is today, can we avail credit? Even today, if you construct this office for providing your cost accountant services, contractor charging service tax to you, can you avail credit? I'm not able to avail even outdoor catering. I'm giving free lunch and dinner to my employee concerned. Free lunch and dinner, no langar. Free lunch and dinner in my factory. Credit is not available because it is related to employee concern. Though Honorable Mumbai Tribunal has allowed credit even after 1st April 2011. So for simplicity's sake, there should be seamless flow of credit. I want to see that kind of GST. Subsequently, it should be adjustable with my output liability. But can we see that? Before that, let's touch upon some important. We are looking for dual GST model. Why dual GST model? Why not national GST? As because we are political, democratic, federal country and we have to have dual GST. But what is the model available across the world? National GST. It is followed by Australia and China. Why China is growing? They follow national GST. And national GST is what? Taxes charged by central government with revenue sharing with the state. So they are taking care of the state. And this will provide clarity and simplicity. State GST like USA. We got concurrent dual GST. Both central and state will levy taxes on goods and services. I'm just imagining my position. Today also central is excise, sales tax is state. Tomorrow again we will have CGST central, SGST. Whatever change, sir, both will remain to enjoy the emulgent. Both will remain to enjoy Bimal Jain or as a trade. I want simplicity. But going further, international perspective, rate is the biggest issue. Believe me, rate is the biggest issue. Today on goods, on an average excise duty rate is 12.5%. VAT, assume 12.5, 25. Assume octroi, entry tax, assume average 3%, assume 28% levied on goods. And how much service tax levied on services? 14, only 14. Our Prime Minister has nominated to all of us for Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, only from a date to be. So be ready, sir. It is like a frog in a little boiled water, little slowly, dhime. Boiling water, 16%. Start thinking what would be GST rate. Today, if you talk about GST rate, we are getting different answers. 13th Finance Commission says GST rate will be only 12%. 5% CGST, 7% SGST. Department of Revenue says 16%. 8% by both. 8% CGST, 8% SGST. But what empowered committee want, you know? Around 27%. 12.77 CGST, 13.91 SGST. 27%. But I'm of the view our GST rates should not be more than 20%. And why I'm saying so? GST is there in 160 countries across the world. And average median GST rate across the world is only around 17%. We can't see the rate more than 20%. If 20% is the rate, more than 20% is the rate, believe me, the prices for all the consumer will go up. Today, look at your services. It is 14% chargeable. If they are not coming out with different rate on services, means my Airtel bill, my all services will be 20%. Am I supposed to get credit in my pocket? I'm poor consumer. Believe me, we need to have different rate for goods and services. Now I will touch upon the last component.
Correct me if I am wrong.
Yes, sir.
I read that the maximum GST that they are going to levy is 18%, which I have read in the newspaper. They have said that maximum GST is 18%.
Sir, our Congress is saying that they will support this 122 Constitution Amendment Bill provided rate of 18% fixed in 122 Constitution Amendment Bill. But this is not possible, sir. If you put rate under Constitution Amendment, then for changing the rate, you have to go back to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and you know how they work at our salaries. We pay. But for them, dosa is 2 rupees. But for Bimal, then it is not less than 100 rupees. Sir, that is not. 2 minutes more. 2 minutes more. Sir, preparedness. Our preparedness. I've given the brief background. I've created the platter for all of us here today. Why we need GST, need and necessity. I've given some international perspective. But 2 minutes, are we prepared? First question. Whether this kind of GST awareness workshop is really helping us. Second. Third, I will take only 2 items on a lighter note. Lighter note so that you can understand. At one time, Parvati ji going with Shiv Bhagwan, and I am coming to my national language, Hindi. दोनों जा रहे थे ऊपर से. And this, उन्हें देखा कि एक किसान महाराष्ट्र में एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड बहुत प्रॉब्लम. So एक किसान जोते जा रहा है, पानी वहाँ 6 साल से नहीं पड़ा, but still he is doing some agriculture work. Then Mata Parvati asked to Shiv Bhagwan, भैया ये प्रभु जी ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, हम 12 साल तक पानी नहीं पड़ना है, ये क्यों किए जा रहे हैं, तो बेवकूफ है बेचारा, किए जा रहे हैं. तो शिव भगवान ने पार्वती माँ से कहा कि तुम पूछना चाहती हो क्यों वो कर रहा है. उसने मान लिया 12 साल तक पानी नहीं पड़ेगा, but still he is doing the work. Why he is doing the work? Do you want to ask him? तो माँ ने कहा चलो चलते हैं. तो उन्होंने भेष बदला, पहुंच गए. पूछ रहे तुम यहाँ कोई तो खेत नहीं जोड़ा, सब इधर उधर चले गए, तुम अकेले आप खेत जो रहे हो, पानी पड़ नहीं रहा, मिट्टी सूखी हुई है, व्हाट यू थिंक, क्यों कर रहे हो? उसने कहा माँ मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ कि अगर मैं करता रहूंगा ना तो मेरे ऑर्गन्स, मेरे हाथ, मेरे पांव चलते रहेंगे. मुझे नहीं मालूम पानी आज आएगा या नहीं आएगा, लेकिन जब भी आएगा मेरा मैदान पहले भरेगा, मेरे मैदान में फल पहले आएगा, मेरे मैदान में फ्रूट्स पहले आएंगे, क्योंकि मैं कर रहा हूं. अगर मैंने कुछ नहीं किया तो बिलीव मी कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So you have to wake up. And last 1 minute more. This is only for lighter side, जिसे आप थोड़ा हंस लें. GST लॉ कैसा होगा, सब सोच रहे हैं ना. फुटप्रिंट कैसा होगा. बिलीव मी अगेन विद लाइटर नोट. एक राजस्थानी ने शादी की, राजस्थानी दीदी से शादी करने के बाद आपको मालूम राजस्थानी दीदी का घूंघट कितना होता है, राइट. वो उसे लेके आया, बस स्टॉप पे खड़ा हुआ. जैसे ही बस स्टॉप पे खड़ा हुआ, घूंघट इतना लंबा तो सब उसे देखना चालू आगे पीछे से. और जिसका घूंघट ज्यादा होगा उसे देखने की इच्छा पूरा इंडिया जानता है. जिसका घूंघट ज्यादा उसे देखने की ज्यादा इच्छा होती है. So this lady is nothing but a footprint, GST law. This lady is nothing but a footprint, GST law. और जो हस्बैंड है वो टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट है, और जो देख रहे हैं वो हम सब है. जो देख रहे हैं वो हम सब है कि होगा कैसा होगा. तो वो बार-बार बोले जा रही है, तो वो टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट वाला जो बंदा है वो उसे बोलता है, अरे बाबी तू परेशान क्यों हो गए हैं, तो अपना घूंघट उठा दे, तुझे देख के सब भाग जाएंगे. With this, I'm thankful to each one of you and thankful to ICAI, WIRC for giving me this opportunity. I know time is a cost. I could have continued 2 hours, believe me, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, but time is a cost. thankful to each one of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Insights on GST and what is the need for GST. It sets the platform for the next speakers to come on stage and share their insights as well. And your last lighter note, I would say, was actually what we are all waiting for. That's what GST would be all about. So, what GST would be all about, that is what our next session is. And we have nonetheless a very, very distinguished speaker from our institute, our beloved past president, CMA B.N. Sharma, who is the next speaker for the technical session. And his topic for the next session is the proposed GST in India and the features of the 122nd Constitutional Amendment Bill, the need for the Constitutional Amendment Bill, and the status of the bill at this moment. CMA Sriram N. Mahan Kaliwar, the Secretary of WIRC, to welcome Mr. Sharma on stage and also introduce him to the audience.